I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Adam Carr here with Horribly Hollywood Singles, some of the worst dating stories told by some of the best guests in Hollywood. As you can see, a giant representation of my head here, now being covered by my other giant head. I want to start off today. I have a fantastic guest here joining us. He was one of the first people that I met at AfterBuzz in the AfterBuzz family. Who
Really?
The first after show, I was literally scared shitless doing an after show. I didn't know how, like, the guidelines, who talks where, but this guy not only guided through the show, he's absolutely hysterical. He's a gem. He's a genuine nice person, and he's damn sexy as hell. Ladies and gentlemen, Flobo Boyce, welcome.
Oh, man, checks in the mail, and I'm so glad I'm on a show that features your giant head in two places. So excited to be a part of this, man.
It's a James Vanderbeek head, man, and if you got to own it, you got to own it.
Oh, man, it is definitely. I didn't know I was the first person or first after show you were on, like, ever. I thought you were.
Yeah, did you notice, like, while you were getting ready, you were so calm and cool, and you were like, all right, cool, so we'll do this. All right, cool, we'll do that. And I'm like, okay, so when do we talk when we say this? And you're like, yeah, it'll be fine, just,
I just thought because it was a binge show. Those binge shows are intense, man. Like The Politician, we watch a lot of that show in a small amount of time.
That was a great show. I love that show.
Great.
I would rewatch that show before season 2.
Yeah, and the intro is worth the price of admission.
So good, man. So first off, I love the beard. Is this your pandemic beard?
Yeah, no, actually, it's funny. My entire life, I was clean shaven up until January 2018. I went to see my mom. She has a retirement home in the Caribbean, so I actually went to go see her. And
Wait, she has a retirement home in the Caribbean.
Well, we're Caribbean, so she went back home. It wasn't like she got in the stock market. It was like, yeah, it was just like
that's very nice.
she swam upstream like a salmon. So I had the beard, but it was like all mangled, and she like totally hated it. So I was like, oh, I'm keeping it now. And the last 2 years, ironically, in some ways, that I spent most of my adult being clean shaven, but now that I have the beard, I've been featured in more things. So now this is kind of like my thing now. So
yeah, I think it looks great.
Well, thank you, Ed.
I feel
more distinguished.
I can't grow anything like that. I have nothing. I'm accessorizing right now my nail. My fiance's niece slept over this last weekend, and we have a black and white cat. So this is as far as my beard. I can't. It's all.
So your nails, is that like a dice pattern, or is that like a?
Yeah, it's like a little polka dotty. So we got
Okay.
black with white polka dot, and then white with black.
Dang.
Enough about my nails.
No, continue. I want more nail stuff.
There's important things going on right now. So first off, I just want to say shout out to the patron saint, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, because the new ruling came this morning. The LGBTQ community can now be protected by federal law. They cannot be discriminated against or fired simply because of their sexual orientation or their sex. It's really quite amazing to have something like this happen. I feel like right now, especially that Trump's conservative appointee was one of the main, gave one of the main arguments for it. But just wanted to hear your thoughts, what you think from today and what that kind of means moving forward.
The case was interesting to me because I kind of scoffed at the idea at first. I was like, well, I can't believe that we're in a situation or a society where we have to literally explicitly say people are protected. But you know what? I'd rather have it on the books than not, right? So congratulations. Definitely is a step in the right direction. I'm not sure how to quite respond. I am happy. I'm elated. I know some of my friends in the LGBTQIA community are saying, this is not a cause of celebration. This is a start to more of an equal playing field. So congratulations to that community as well. I know this is going to be a start for many things.
Yeah, well, hopefully. And listen, obviously, over the last couple of weeks, the show here, we've been down with AfterBuzz. I've just been taking a cue because I'm a straight white guy in 2020, just to shut my mouth, listen, read up, watch documentaries, learn different things. So I really appreciate you. This is the first show that we've had back and in a couple of weeks here, and just wanted to give you the floor first off. If there's anything you want to talk about over the last couple of weeks, I just want to give you the platform. The floor is yours. Anything you want to discuss?
Sure. I understand that AfterBuzz's family of networks went dark and standing in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement. The very fact that, yes, I'm aware you're white, but the fact that you want to learn and research and listen, I think that is not beholden to one race or culture. And I think that's what we're looking for. Like, it's very easy to see people in the fringe and then use that to invalidate. I think I get like DMs every a day or so about bad things in the communities of minorities, and say, hey, how do you explain this? Does this invalidate this? It doesn't. Whether or not you agree with the different kinds of expression out there, I'm not trying to judge anyone to or fro it, but I do feel like it says a lot where one inciting incident reached a global scale and had people from different countries, nations, and backgrounds saying, we stand with people, because again, they're human beings. We're human beings. That's all we want. I mean, I don't understand the hate sometimes with the backlash of what's going on right now, where most of the times it's been positive. The conversations have been well. I told my friends, if you guys have any questions, I'm here to help as much as I can. But I do think the fact that we want to learn more about things, even things you may not be totally knowledgeable about, I think that's how we grow as people.
Definitely. I've also, it's funny, I've been having, I think, certain arguments with either old friends or just family members that I haven't spoken to in a while, who all of a sudden, it's funny, people that you might not talk to as much on the phone or texting, but you see them posting stuff on Facebook, or they respond to something that you wrote on Facebook. And it's just a really weird, I guess, just a bit of an energy right now where it's kind of like what you said before with the Supreme Court ruling. You're like, it feels weird that we have to say this or write it down on paper because it just should be inherent. Everyone should have this. But the fact that it needs to be said again and again, and then after, Atlanta this last week, you're just like, I don't know, my brain's just kind of spinning, going all over this stuff. So I guess, like, what are your, I don't know. I guess I'm not sure.
If I can jump in there, I know a lot of people have said, like, what do I do? What can I do? You know what I mean? It's not going to end overnight. There's people that felt like it ended 50 years ago. There's people that feel like everything ended 8 years ago. And there's individual thoughts and jokes and memes for anything you believe, right? It's not so much of it's going to be over now, but be okay to ask questions, be okay to stop things. I think our parents, our parents' generations, my parents are boomers, right? They were a bit more flippant with some of the terminology. I mean, I've known some words have changed, and usually I would nod and understand it's not true or rings true for me, and I'll walk away. I think I've been more challenging of saying, I don't think that's appropriate. And that's not even necessarily my culture. It's just a way of saying, hey, it has to start somewhere. So if anyone can let people know that, hey, what you're saying is not right, what you believe, I give you your right to believe, but I believe this, and here's the reason why I believe for some perspective. I think that's a dialectic. That's a discourse we have for true peace. But it's very easy to put on a TV and go, I can't believe they're saying this. I can't believe that party is doing this. If we're ascribing to political parties like they're sports teams, of course you root for your team. The Mets haven't won a World Series in 30 years. I'm gonna root for them anyway, right? We gotta be able to say, well, I don't know. I mean, that's I believe this usually, but they're kind of wavering on this. And I think that's where we need to be.
Interesting. Have you found that has entered into the conversation specifically in dating? That, like, have you been talking to someone who says something completely off the cuff, and you go, oh, I just wanted to, never mind. Now I know.
Yeah, it's funny because I think I'm like reluctant into it. I used to avoid politics at all. I never voted. The first time I actually voted, I voted for myself in a neighborhood council election last year. So yeah, vote for me.
You said that on The Politician, didn't you? In the
I did, yeah.
Yeah, you did. Okay.
I did not. But the thing is, everything is seeping in, right? Politics isn't just in your food and in your clothing brands. Everyone wants to stand for something. So at dates, not so much. I always give everyone a first date. We'll get to that later because I've never dated as often as many people. I give everyone a full chance. I don't bail. I don't get mad, But I'm seeing more and more that people are asking, like, so how do you feel about this? Like, it's like a political test, like, did you vote for that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, is it the right answer? This is what I believe. Will you walk away? Please don't leave me.
Well, it's funny because we didn't deal with this with, like, W. No one cared if you were Republican voting for George W. Bush until after Iraq, and then when Katrina hit. And then all of a sudden everybody was like, well, then it just became this huge polarizing thing, I think a bit more. Yeah. But I feel like now, especially, it is all about our identities have become 2016. How'd you vote? Well, either you were part of the problem or you were part, or another. Sure. And it's just it's very quick and it's very deliberate, and it's these two sides now that you're right. I mean, it is. I see the wrestling, behind you in the background, along with Green Lantern. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Lantern too.
Yeah. So favorite superhero.
Very cool.
And we'll get to the reason that too, because that kind of goes into the whole dating thing. But I think you're right. I feel like there's two things that happened since W, and that was the rise of Twitter as a place of political discourse, and the fact that you can make your own echo chamber. Echo chambers always existed, no matter what you believe in. I grew up in New York City and Brooklyn with a Caribbean family, so that's the way I look at the world. But now I can find things that you may think is weird. If I think pineapple goes on pizza, I can have a whole group of pineapple pizza enthusiasts and say how people.
The ruler.
Yeah, why not? And so everyone has a way of saying things. Our current president uses Twitter mostly for policy board, say a press conference or a radio address. So we all flock there. And if you're on the platform and you have 280 characters, I think you're about easy to pull that trigger and say, well, I feel this. Well, this is the case,
Interesting. So you grew up in the Caribbean.
I grew up in Brooklyn. My parents are Caribbean.
Just kidding. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Did you travel to the Caribbean as a child?
So yeah, I went every year for about 10 years to the point I was sick of it. And that's funny you mentioned that, because even though I am 100% West Indian American, my formative years, I'm talking 14 to about 31, was up here. So like as a first generation American, I'm always in between. Hey, I'm a citizen by birthright, but I go to parties, it's like, so where you're from?
No. So you could be president of the United States. You were born here on this soil.
Yes, I'll be eligible as of next Thursday. I'm too young. Thursday, yeah.
You're turning 35 or 30? Yeah, 35.
But on the flip side of it all, it's like when I'm there, it's like this is my accent. I like comic books. I love pro wrestling. There's a very American things. You are a Yankee. You are American.
Oh, got you. Let's see. So obviously, Green Lantern, favorite superhero of all time. Perfect. What's your favorite Green Lantern out of the Green Lantern Corps?
John Stewart is my favorite. He looks like me. It came out in the 70s at a time where a lot of black comic book characters talk jive, which I understand that was part of the culture back then for writers of lack of color to make things sound urban. But what I liked about John back then was he was an architect, and he was the first Green Lantern to not wear a mask. And he said, I'm going to show the people my face, because this is the power that I have. But the Green Lantern Corps is a concept I love. It's essentially willpower. And so when I was as late as 20, 24, 25 years old, I used to weigh 375 pounds. And so I used to grasp at the concept of Green Lantern as like, hey, he runs on willpower. What about you? And I would go to the gym at like 2 o'clock in the morning and stuff. But yeah.
Whoa. So wait, okay. So did you date a bunch when you were heavier? And then
no. I would love to tell you, Adam, that women really care about people on the inside, but it's not true. Fat guys do not get the girl. And what's really sad is that now that I'm in my 30s and I look the way I do now compared to I looked back then, there are a lot more suitors, or if you will, a lot more ladies that are calling. But I feel like I have my guard up now because I feel like it's so physical based. Because I'm the same personality as I was. I was heavy from the first grade up until my mid 20s. You know what I mean? I started going to the gym in Orange County when I moved here to go to grad school.
Yeah. What'd you go to grad school for?
Chapman, film production. So I'm a film grad, editing emphasis.
Very nice. Did you edit?
Yeah, they were an avid school. It was a little challenging for me at the time. I was still Final Cut, back when Final Cut was the thing.
Holy crap. So, wow, was there, sorry, I don't mean to get off topic here, but just real quick, because I'm very impressed by like willpower and the ability to change and alter. Come on.
Yeah, go on.
I'm curious, was there a moment like where you saw yourself in the mirror, or where you tried to physically do something and you were just like, all right, that's it? Like, was there one moment, or did you just wake up one day and you were like, I want to change things?
This is funny because I tell this story to a lot of older people and they'll say, what's her name? It's always a girl, isn't it? And the answer is yes, because I was big my entire life. Okay. And I came to California, which California is very image conscious. It does help you. You can go to a restaurant and go, this is my diet. And people go, oh, yeah, that's fine. But when I was in my mid-20s, in the years between the years of grad school, there was a lady that was from Chicago that was still in town. So she would say, hey, let's go to Disneyland. I got the pass. And for people who are normal size in their 20s, you think of going to Disneyland, you're thinking, my money, my wallet, my goofy hat, let's go. Because I was so heavy, I had to think of my sweat rag, because I sweat all the time. Will I fit on the rides or turnstiles? Where are the layouts for the benches because I get too tired? And still, you're 23, 24 years old. So like, no one's going to hang with you all day if you're always tired. You know what I'm saying? So I think that summer was like, okay, if this girl seems nice to you and you want other girls to be nice to you, make it a long-term thing. And I used to go to one of those all-night gyms because I failed at working out so many times. I didn't want people to see me come back from the gym all like whatever. So I went to one of those 24 places and I went at 2 in the morning, 11 p.m., 5 a.m. just to work in there. Yeah.
I got to tell you, you're one of the coolest people I've ever met then, because I've never seen a transformation like that. It's funny to me because you just seem like naturally one of the nicest people. I'm really trying not to blow smoke up your ass here, but
please do.
Well, no, sometimes people have like a little bit of a chip on their shoulder of like, oh yeah, well, like it just, and I don't get any of that sense from you. You just seem like there's no, I would have a chip on my shoulder if I used to weigh a lot and then all of a sudden I'd be like, oh, people want to talk to me now. Like I'd be probably a little bit of a dick. So
yeah, the temptation's there. I think if you want me to be completely honest with you, there is a temptation now to sit there and say, you know what, you guys didn't like me when I was this way. Forget you. Calling up girls from high school and look at me now. You know what I mean? But success is the best revenge. But I really feel it's more important because I don't believe in being an inspiration. I don't believe in posting on Instagram and being like, look at me, guys. But if you lead by example, I'm hoping people see that you can choose compassion. You know, everyone hates Superman now because we're so jaded and we're so cynical and he's overpowered. But there was a time where Superman stood for the good in people, the justice in people. You know, why not do that?
Very true. Well, you know what? It's funny because I'm wondering now, I feel like the movement that's taking hold in the country, and especially like the reckoning they're talking about with Hollywood and how that's all kind of I don't have the word for it. I'm stupid. But the way it's coming together, I feel like now would be the time. I know they're talking about Henry Cavill coming back for, Man of Steel 2, but I feel like Superman should be black. Like there was an article, it was, I think, Will Smith back in the 90s when they were temporarily looking at him when they were going to do this huge, I think it was the Mick G Superman reboot. Yeah. And he asked Denzel Washington about it. And his first response was, don't mess with white people's heroes.
I see both ways there. I feel like the fact that Superman is an alien can open that up for everyone. But as a comic book nerd, I'm going to say, no. I understand it. I totally understand we need more black heroes, but Superman himself, the reason why what made it work for him is that on any other metric, Clark Kent is mild mannered and doesn't stick out. He's supposed to be milk toast and like this meek guy. You can't, I think if you, almost like when it says Idris Elba should be James Bond, Trevor Noah had that joke. If you're in Serbia, the only black guy in the room with the trench coat is the spy. So I like a black Superman idea. I think we try that with alternate universes of Superman, but as far as just the common language, it should be someone that looks like us, like Americans, wherever that may be.
I get what you're saying. Well, especially too, if you're making him like weak and nerdy, that should be a white guy. But I don't know. Anyway, it was just one of those things where I'm like, why not? Like, why do we think, oh, just because this is what I grew up with, that's the way it's always been. Like that doesn't mean that necessarily is how it should be. So
Iris West from the Flash TV show is black, and she wasn't usually, and that's fine. It's like, yeah.
I see what you're saying. Different things. All right. Well, Flobo, let's see. So you visited the Caribbean a lot as a kid.
As a kid, yeah.
You had a tremendous weight loss, and you're a freaking positive person. We're talking about wonderful things right now. I don't know what show I'm on, but horribly Hollywood stuff. So if you want to,
let's do it.
Think of this as an impromptu therapy session. You can scream, you can say whatever name. I'll tag them in the post. We can talk about some bad dates, either bad dates, bad relationships, bad people, shit that maybe you talked to your friends when you were drunk. Please. Yeah.
This is where it gets weird. Because I was so heavy and girls never liked me, right? I didn't date anyone until I was 27 years old.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I didn't date, I swear to you, I mean, I've gone on dates like, someone picked me in the Bachelor auction and here go down to the Greek, but like as far as a date, I didn't have till I was about 27 years old. And that girl, which was my first crush back in middle school, became my girlfriend for 7 years.
Holy moly.
So 6 years, 11 months. So when we broke up last October, here I am at the time, and now 34 years old, not knowing how dating works. Totally an alien. Like I didn't know, like people on these dating apps, they write down the stuff they're into, the kinky stuff. I had to look it up like an old person in an Urban Dictionary. Like, what does femdom mean?
What?
Holy crap! I had no idea. What?
Yes.
You know, and I tell people this, it was like a whole new world, because I feel like I'm in between. I'm not like quite in the divorce age yet. And I'm still not.
Right. I feel like when you hit 38 to 42, that's the age of the first divorces.
True. And that's why I scoff at people that say, you know, at your age, you settle down. Like, I did that already. You know? Like, what does that even mean?
Holy crap.
So everything's been new to me. Understanding what these things are on dating apps, understanding which dating apps to use. Currently, I'm on Tinder and Facebook dating, but I've tried Hinge, I tried Bumble, I tried all the weird ones like Hit You Up or HUD or whatever. Buying condoms as an adult was scarier now than it was back when I thought I had a date and I was 20. Like you go in, and now there's some places where the condoms are within a glass. So now you gotta like flag somebody down and go.
To go, hey, can you feel like you're 15 at your old home, like with your parents, like, hey, can you bring the keys so you can open this, and then can I get a ride over to the movies? Can I have to borrow $20 because I feel completely.
Yeah,
dude, weird.
It isn't like I guess when I was young I didn't care. It was like chosen to Durex. You don't get lifestyles unless you want to have kids. I knew that, but going now there's like small ribbed, studded, double latex bearskin. Like I was like, and I felt weird. And I'm asking the lady open the case like, what do you recommend? She's like, excuse me, sir. I'm like, I don't know.
Like, well, I'm sorry.
I didn't mean it that way.
How are you? I'm close.
Right. So everything's new to me. First dates. So I basically was dating, like, or at least trying the real dating thing from about November to about March. And I was away in Florida the first week of March. I did it when I was for a conference. I had a date there in Florida. But then the second date we were going to plan got canceled because of COVID. So my dating window has literally been 3 months of my entire life. That's as long as I've been dating in the flesh. And it's been virtual dates, but you and I know I could talk all day. I don't really feel a connection on a screen.
You could do this. I feel like you would easily, like, you'd be great at dating. Yeah,
dude, I shoot shots all the time. Dude, girls who are out of my league virtually, fine, I'm Steph Curry. But in real life, it's like.
So you got basically 7 years in after a first-time relationship at 27.
Yeah.
Go in, you're done. You're in, like, you throw the anchor down, you're set. So if I can ask, was there a moment in the relationship, if the relationship ended 6 years and 11 months, where in your mind would you have wanted to end it earlier now that you're looking back? Or do you look back and go, that last year, like, we were just fooling ourselves? Or was there, again, kind of like with the weight loss, was there one thing where you were like, all right, I can't do this anymore?
I think anytime you decide to, after that long, you get comfortable. And I always tell people, like, yeah, we left amicably, but I mean, she's still an arm, right? I chopped an arm off. There wasn't a single moment. I think the last 2 years, I became that guy who was like, hey, how's it going, bro? My girlfriend did this, that. I had nothing positive to say. So my family thought she was like the most evil person on the planet, but like, no, I'm just venting with you. If I got to be dramatic, and it's not her fault because she's completely within her right. Women can do what they want. I'm not a jealous person. But there was one day about a year and a half before we ended. She came home. I guess she had read or saw the movie Eat, Pray, Love. She goes, hey, how would you feel if I went to Bali by myself? Is that okay? And as somebody who loves being alone, like, real talk, as like, just to show you how kind of a person I am, I like going to Vegas by myself 3 or 4 times a year.
Me too. It's great.
It's great, right?
You get a giant tub of butter with popcorn and just fucking eat your face off, or is that just me?
I get the tall boy and I drink beer, but the carbs are carbs. So, and I get, no, I don't mind babe at all. But then I realized she didn't even ask if I wanted to go. If she said, do you want to go? And I'm like, nah, by all means. But then because of this trip to Bali, she was working a second job. She started doing Uber to make cash to go to this trip. So now she worked during the day, Ubered at night. And you can't have any relationship survive if you have no quality time with each other. Because I'm up early to go to my job at the time, and she's up doing 2 different jobs at night to pay for this trip I was not able to go on. So I kind of felt all my hurt and depressed feelings back then. So when we decided to go our separate ways, it was like, well, this sucks. I mean, cool.
Wow.
But that's the important thing I learned. I think quality time is super. I love being alone, but quality time is what keeps the fire burning, for sure.
Quality time definitely keeps the fire burning. I will say with the beautiful lady that I'm engaged to now, she puts up with a lot. I remember it kind of crushed me the first couple months we were dating, because I was calling her up to see if like I could come over. I lived, I think, in Hollywood at the time, and she lived in Playa Vista. And now I moved down to Playa Vista, which it was a great conversation. I was like, hey, don't you want to live on the east side? And she was like, no. And then now we live here. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. By the ocean, everything's.
I live out here too, man. I'm in Palms. So.
You're in Palms? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Palms Neighborhood Council. Hashtag Boyce in the Hood. Vote for me.
What? I remember I was calling her up and I was saying something to the effect of, hey, can I come over tonight? Or, maybe like tomorrow night, or, I was being very just hard on my sleeve. When can I come over? And I remember she was like, hey, so, you're great. But if I could have maybe more time during the week to myself, then that will make our time on the weekend that much more special. And I remember at the time it crushed me, and I immediately was like, "All right, cool. I'm busy. I'm gonna get going." And she was like, "No. Well, why don't you come over tonight?" I'm like, "No, I don't need it."
I got things, yeah.
I'm like, and it's funny now because we literally we're like an old European couple now. Like we spend every day together, every meal. Like if I go out, if I'm getting the mail, she'll text me and she's like, "Hey, are you coming back soon? Like, what's going on?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." So. It's funny how that happens, but yeah, that would be a huge, it's how you said it too. It's like, it wasn't, hey, do you want to come with me? You know what? I'll just end up doing this. It was, hey, so I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
By the way, in the meantime, I'm going to also get this other job to pay for it. So I won't be seeing you. So it's like a slow break.
Right. It was a slow break for sure. I guess it worked out. I don't have any, like we talk all the time. We still text, we send memes. I called this morning, but like, I feel like that to me was the decline. And that was about 1.5 years. Right before the end.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Did you find yourself talking more now, especially like with COVID happening and with everything? Do you find yourself reaching out to the people that feel most comfortable or that you have like a connection with?
I mean, like in dating circles?
Yeah, dating or like
there's not many, bro. There's not many. I mean, I feel like everyone I've ever dated has been nice, or as no one's ever like cut me off and it's like you're done, But like I make sure that's the distance thing, because since you're locked in. Or at least in the beginning months, we're talking March and April here in Los Angeles, California, primal instinct kicks in. You're like, I went outside and scavenged for 6 packs of Vienna sausages. I want delivery. I want demand. So you got to make sure you're not just playing into that as well. But at the same time, yeah, it's cool to get on a virtual call, talk to someone, or Marco Polo or a house party and have a little video chat or send memes to each other.
So being that you're looking at all these sites now, you didn't like Bumble, which everyone's like, the women talk to you first. I'm like, nothing ever good happens on Bumble.
They look really attractive on Bumble, but it was kind of like the rolling tumbleweed. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah. Yeah, or you'll get like, they'll say, hey, what's up? And then you'll never hear back. And then you've sent like 3 or 4 messages. And I used to do that. So I'd just be drunk at like 1 a.m. and I'm like, come on, we gotta talk.
Yeah, you get the, oh my gosh, you're so gorgeous. You go, really? He goes, check out my Snapchat. Like, fine. I will.
Look at my Instagram. This is me. Like, you're like,
I don't want to buy your premium snaps.
It's Snapchat. I never got into Snapchat. I never understood what the hell was going on. A little bit still like with TikTok. I feel like I know everybody's doing it. I know there's certain things I'm like, awesome. Still,
I quit it.
I'm just
more than any social network on the planet. I'm like, where are these views coming from? Like, I have no idea. Are they a farm? Like, I don't know. Yeah. I'll dance. I'll keep dancing. Maybe.
So wait. So did she go to Bali? Was that it? Was that like
she went to Bali? She rode elephants. I got every update. I mean, look, when she was there, she called me every day. I mean, I was still her significant other. It wasn't like she was like, I'm going to Bali. It was just, I'm sitting here at home going like, I'm glad. It was weird. As someone that has goals of traveling, I was so proud of her to say, I'm doing this thing and say that and do it. But in doing so, I am basically saying I'm happier with you without me. And so on her side, to be fair, I'm not trying to be on her, but on her side, the conversation that led to the actual course of action of breaking up was the marriage conversation. Look, we had it 7 years. What's next? And I guess I realized I had those unresolved issues from the Bali situation. And I go, if you're asking me to choose now, the answer is no. I don't want people to be like, this guy talk about his perspective. No, I understand. I am not without fault. When it comes to
no, you're perfect. You're an angel. Don't ever say no. What? No. Don't talk to me. You're doing great.
Exactly.
I've known a couple couples who moved out here with the explicit understanding that they would get married. And to me, I was always like, that is a terrible thing. I'll move out there with you, but you better put a ring on it. I'm like, great. What else do you want to make someone do to let them know that like you care? Like, it's just,
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? Not my problem. They got to figure it out.
I went to college. I went to undergrad in the South, and a lot of the couples there were like, "Hey, look, marrying age is the early 20s." And
Oh,
so
right.
there was people that try to like, link in their junior or senior year of college. I'm like,
Dude, I have a lot of Christian relatives back home, either in Ohio, Tennessee, and Alabama. And, their whole thing is you get married at 22, 23 tops. That's it. And then you start, having kids. But I also feel like, too, a lot of that stuff, to be fair, I feel like it's because in very strict religious settings, you're not allowed to have sex till you get married. So
right.
You're constantly thinking with, I got to get laid brain. And that's not the brain you want to use when you're trying to do the most important thing in your life. That's just
pending.
But I'm gonna burn in hell, so I don't know.
Oh no, not the hands, bro. Not the hands.
Not the hands. God, hand modeling, come back. Anyway,
I tell you, man, the first time you told me that, I could not hold a laugh. Like, this guy's a rational hand model, and he showed me his hands, and I heard a choir sing from his palms. It was that gorgeous, and he gets paid for it. My goodness, you guys need a hand model. This guy get a call.
It's something you're born with. You can't achieve it. That's all I can tell you. It's
True.
like the monarchy. But I'm very proud.
King Regent.
Yes, stout shoulders, a body like George Costanza's, and his hands. So that's it. Beautiful. So we've talked about some datings. We've talked about your transformation. We've talked about what's going on out there a little bit here. Let's get into some. You brought up some already. Red flags.
Woo!
Red flags works like this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to read 3 red flags to Flobo, and then he's going to tell me which one he could absolutely not put up with in quarantine. And these, maybe you could put up with these in a regular time, but in the age of Corona, let's be honest, I think we're done giving 2 shits about anything. So
are they with me, or like a virtual dating type thing, or?
They're with you. So let's say you just, I've known a couple of people who have done this too, where they were dating for like a month, and then Corona started happening and they just moved in.
Oh no.
That's true, because maybe one of them couldn't pay rent, or because they didn't know what was happening. And so it just became a survivalist thing. So I think about these people when I ask these questions, because I'm like, you don't really know until you start living with someone. And even then it takes, I'd say 3 to 6 months of them finally opening up their crap for you to see. And by the way, I'm the only one who has crap in my relationship. My fiance is perfect.
Oh yeah, of course, amazing. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I have the fault. Now let's see.
I'm like sleeping on couch tonight.
All right. So first one recites all the lines from Titanic in their sleep. I'm assuming the movie. So you jump, I jump.
Glove.
For God's sakes, let us out. We've got it. Saying that stuff as they're sleeping. And let's see. I always win, Jack. One way. Says that. So stuff like that. That's just all night. And then, this is good. Doesn't like music. Any music.
Okay.
So you could just listen on your headphones. Make a little. That could be the. What's the word? I'm blanking on words right now. What's it called?
Compromise.
It's not compromise. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hold on. And then constantly freestyles badly. So if it was like me freestyling,
yeah.
which I don't think anybody ever wants to hear, but it would just be like,
do.
I like your shirt. I like your tie. I like your wife. Just kidding, guy. Like just that. That would be it.
Oh, the bars. Oh, snap.
So, and the show is never seen again. So you have constantly freestyles badly. Although if she's, cute or hot, then it's endearing.
Yeah.
Recites all the lines from Titanic in their sleep. Gotta swim, Rose. You gotta swim, Rose, right now. She says that. Or doesn't like music. Any of it.
If I can talk it out, the Titanic one doesn't bother me because, like, stereotypically, like most guys, once I hit the pillow, I am out. That will piss my girlfriend off because she needs like 2 glasses of wine, Friends on DVD, a foot massage. You know what I mean? I'm just like, man.
Yeah. Good for you.
Freestyling. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Yeah, you gotta move me with a forklift. I got clowned for my music tastes because I'm like Mr. Eclectic. Like back in when we first started dating, we had MP3 CDs.
Oh yeah. Oh, the best.
I know. So I would go from like rock to rap to jazz. So I was okay with it, but then she would always give me a comment like, "Oh, I can't get into a groove," or like, "This is so random." So I would turn it off. And so together, when we spent time together, there was no music. So I don't mind that as much.
Okay.
But yeah, freestyling can get from cute to, hey, I'm just asking if you want these eggs scrambled or fried. Like, which one do you want? So I'm going to go with freestyling for sure.
Freestyling. All right. That's getting marked down. Ladies, let you all know out there that if you start dating Flobo, we don't want to hear that freestyling all the time. He'll tell you to.
Yeah.
All right. So next up here, you've heard of Fuck, Marry, Kill. We have our own little version here at Horribly Hollywood Single called Date, Dump, Divorce. Okay. Now, for some of my female guests in the past, I've done famous doctors on TV because we are in a Corona themed here. So I thought I'd do some lady doctors who are famous on TV for you.
Dr. Quinn, let's do it.
You tell me who you want to date, who you want to dump, and who you got to divorce. All right. I'm like, wait, where are they? Where did I write them? Okay, yeah, here they are. Do you ever have that happen where you're doing just me? Got it.
All right. I'm writing it down. So I don't mess this up. I don't want to Okay.
First one, the actress Kate Walsh, who plays Dr. Addison Montgomery on Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
You read him. You also have Jason Sudeikis' amazingly brilliant wife, director extraordinaire Olivia Wilde, who portrayed the Dr. 13 on House.
Okay.
And lastly, for, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful ladies ever, Parminder Nagra, who was on ER. She played Dr. Neela Roskatra.
What's her name again? Let me make sure I have it right.
I have some photos here. Maybe might throw them up.
Cool.
The last one is Parminder Nagra, who played Dr. Neela Roskatra on ER.
Okay. I am also looking. Okay.
Oh yes, you look her up. So Dr. Neela Roskatra on ER. She's beautiful.
Yeah, ER is a bit before my time, Grandpa. I just gotta go.
It's a little while back. I know.
Just threw me off, man.
Olivia Wilde, who played 13 on House, and then Kate Walsh, Dr. Addison Montgomery from Grey's Anatomy. You got to pick one to date, and then you're gonna dump one, and then you're gonna divorce.
So I guess dump is like I dated. I'm like, I am done with this.
Yeah, it could literally have been like maybe a couple one night stands, maybe like, a casual couple weeks, and you were like, this isn't working out. Or, you were dating for a while and she said, hey, I don't like it when you play music. And you're like, this isn't.
It's my freestyle. This is hard, man. Because Parminder looks very beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah. Whew. I wouldn't mind dating her.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am going to divorce Olivia Munn, but that's not to say I don't like Kate Walsh.
Olivia Wilde, although Olivia.
Oh, sorry, Olivia Wilde. Sorry. Sorry. I bet she gets this all the time. She's like, look, man. Whoops. But here's the thing about Kate Walsh. And here's the only reason it has something to do with her and how she looks attractively. She is also a comedian as well. And I had booked her to be one of my comedy shows, and she flaked at the last second. So goodbye. Yeah. She works Flappers, which is my home club too, over there in Burbank.
No kidding. Kate Walsh, are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Kate Walsh, Dr. Addison Montgomery.
Yeah. Yes. Bad judge.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you divorce her?
Would I? Yeah.
Date Parminder,
I would divorce Olivia and I would dump Kate.
You gotta marry Olivia.
Yeah.
Do you hear that they said right before she got married to Jason Sudeikis, she took him to like a strip club and bought out the entire VIP section for him and all the dancers. And
it's a trap.
And just want to have some fun. Yeah, I know. You're like, I don't even want to be here. They're so ugly and
it's a trap. Don't do it. Yeah,
you don't like it. You don't want to be there. It smells bad. It's stinky. You want to go home and just be with them and maybe get some banana bread and listen to that podcast you've been telling them that you're going to listen to with them.
Absolutely. Exclusive on NPR.
Especially.
Don't do it.
Don't. So, all right, we're coming to the time here where it's time for a little advice section. So, obviously, Flobo, I feel like you're a very wise person because you've undertaken some things here. To me, that the prompt I'll put in front of you is you get 90 seconds. You get to go into a room. It's like a sci-fi room. It's like Lost. We don't know where this room came from. We don't know why it exists. But in this room, you're going to come face to face with 18-year-old you. And you have 90 seconds to tell you everything you need to tell. What do you say? Go.
First things first, you will lose your hair at 21, so style it and dye it now. Please style it and dye it now. Look, I get it. 18 years old, big city kid going out to the rural city in the South. You're thinking everyone's getting laid but you because you're in college. It's not true. American Pie is a lie. You wait for that girl who looks all right. Other one of you like, let me get used to it. Let me just get out of the way. You wait. I know, maybe 21. It may be even 22, but you'll survive that. And even long enough to go back and say, man, 22, I was so young. Take your time, bro. Yeah, I don't know what room I'm in.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you melt, or I'm not quite sure. We haven't worked out the schematics for the room yet. We just know that 1.21 gigawatts seems to get it all.
Plutonium.
Yeah, perfect. Jeez. All right, perfect. So, all right, we got that. Anything else you want to add in last minute here, just to talk about stuff that's been going on, or stuff that people should be checking out, or anything before we get into your handles or anything specific on you?
Yeah. Hey, just want to take time out to let's call up a friend you haven't seen in a while. Doesn't matter where they're from. This time of the year, between the murder hornets and Australia being on fire, just connect with people. Not just saying HBD on their birthday on Facebook. Give them a call, FaceTime them, be that annoying person. You won't believe how many people think you're trying to sell them something when you just say hi. Break that. Just say, what's up? I want to see how you're doing.
Break the chain. Yeah, you're right. I feel like for every time I ask somebody for a favor, I try to talk to them at least 3 separate times without asking for anything. So it doesn't seem like I'm being a mooch.
Right.
No. Otherwise, yeah, you feel like, well, what do you want? What are you selling?
Exactly. How are you? Look, that's great, buddy. Listen, I have this brand new idea. It's called air conditioned mittens. You know, it's like
it's a film, and here's the thing:
yeah.
$3 million. Can I count on 10 grand?
Right.
So perfect. Flobo here. Let's Flobo Boyce. You've been an absolutely wonderful guest on the show. I want to thank you. What are your handles to check you out on? Any projects you have coming up, or shows that you're working on? Things that you want to draw attention to that people can check out?
Nope. No, I'm just kidding. You can follow me at Twitter. I got nothing. I was on my couch when you called me. No, you can follow me on Twitter at Flobo Boyce, on Instagram at Flobito. Flobito.com is a website. And during these times, I asked for, as a creative, there's 2 ways to support me, what I'm doing. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Flobo Boyce, exclusive interviews and other contents there. And you can buy a t-shirt, a special birthday edition t-shirt for the month of June over at Flobito.threadless.com. That's FLOBITO.threadless.com.
Flobito, wonderful. I love the birthday shirts idea. That's fantastic.
Yeah, man, it's like a Supreme drop.
Oh, it's
hype in these streets.
Perfect. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we conclude today's show, I'd like to end it with a little quote, as I often do, about dating and the things that we've learned. This is based on my past week where I did, it looks like I broke my toe without meaning to. I think I smashed the little one, and then I ran on it for like a 5K to see if it was really broken, and it turned out it was. So, yeah. Oh man, that was stupid, right? My fiance even said, she's like, "Don't, just rest on it." I'm like,
it's purple, whatever.
Fine. Not gonna hear the end of that one for a while. I'll tell you, I gotta listen.
I broke mine hitting the side of the bed, and I did a DJ event standing up on it. Not about me, but I'm just saying.
Oh no!
6 weeks of it taped together.
Is it the big one or the
small one? The small one. The radial fracture of this thing. It was taped together for 6 weeks.
Okay. Dating is like stubbing your toe on a piece of furniture and breaking it instantly. Dating in LA, same thing, but add in an atomic wedgie, ball smack, and a throat punch. In that order. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Adam Carr with Horribly Hollywood Single. I want to thank Brianna, our producer with AfterBuzz, our AfterBuzz family. I want to thank Flobo Flobo Boyce here for being out, joining us today. Excuse me. Thank you so much. I know you're in pain after that last one. This is Avatar reminding you, stay horrible, stay single. Hey, we don't judge.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.